boos, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Ciara, and today I'm going to be doing a life update video. It's been such a long time since I updated you guys on everything that's going on in my life, so I wanted to sit down and finally update you guys. Grab some popcorn, wine if you're grown. If you're not, go ahead and get your Capri Sun or soda pop, and let's just get an update on what's going on with Ciara. So first things first, I've asked you guys questions that you wanted to know about my life, so I'm also going to be throwing these in there. One of the questions that I got a lot was, can we also have relationship update and some relationship advice? So first, I'll start with the relationship advice. There's some stuff that has really stuck with me that I want to just pass on to y'all while still applying it to my life. One of my #1 tips with dating in this day and age: never assume that you guys are exclusive if he hasn't asked you to be his girlfriend, okay? That really messes me up because the way my loyalty is set up, if we're texting consistently, you're my boyfriend on the low. And that's how I feel, but I guess sometimes guys don't feel the same way, or even girls. So never assume that y'all are exclusive if he hasn't asked you to be your girlfriend. And my mom has tried to get this to stick with me throughout my dating phases. She's always told me, like, look, you can't expect a man to show you loyalty if he has not asked you to be his girlfriend. If he has not asked you to be his girlfriend, he doesn't want you to be his girlfriend right now, or he's preparing, but don't assume that you guys are talking exclusively. And that's very much this day and age's mindset. If they haven't asked you to be your girlfriend, you're still single. So don't be doing girlfriend things while you're talking. Because I take talking seriously. I'm like, if we're talking, basically you should only be talking to me. You should only be texting me. But that's just not how it goes nowadays. So that's #1 tip. #1 tip, ladies and guys, because it goes the same for both ways. My #2 tip is allow a man to pursue you. Sometimes as women, we can take things into our own hands, and I don't know if that really works well with men. If it's worked for you, don't listen to this, but I feel like a lot of times I see, like, in my friends or just people who tell me about situations, it's kind of like they're trying to pursue the men. They're trying to set up things. They're trying to hang out with them. No. When you first start talking, allow a man to set up some dates. Or even if it's something simple like coffee or ice cream. Do not let a man get comfortable with inviting you over to Netflix and chill and y'all just started talking. Y'all are trying to get to know each other in a stage. You should be getting taken out on dates. I'm not saying it has to be Ruth Chris. It can be Wendy's, McDonald's if that's what you like. But just allow a man to initiate some things. Even a church date is cute. Just allow him to invite you out into some public places. Especially if you're trying to be celibate, public places are the way to go, okay? The way to go. So sleepover, Netflix and chill, all that kind of stuff should be pushed back if you're waiting to marriage, or if you're not, it should be pushed back at least until he's your boyfriend. And still then, I feel like you need to have boundaries in your relationship. Number three, please, ladies and fellas, if you know that you're wanting something more out of a relationship, if you know that you're wanting something serious, because everybody's not ready for a relationship. So if you're just trying to have fun, this little advice is not for you. But if you know that you want something out of a relationship, let's stop being intimate with people when we're still getting to know them. Because #1, that just protects you from soul ties and expectations, and thinking something is more serious than what it is. Just don't do it, okay? Just at least wait. Whatever your convictions are, please just try to stick to practicing celibacy, at least in the talking stage. You can't give someone everything and then expect them to want a relationship because they don't see the value. Sometimes everyone knows that men don't like everything easy, okay? They want a little chase. So just try to hold out. I know you're a woman, I know you have your needs. If you're a man, I know you're a man, I know you have your needs, but just try to hold out. And if you're trying to be celibate in a relationship, definitely boundaries, set them and stick to them. I personally thought it would be easy because me and my boyfriend are on the same page about celibacy and waiting till marriage. It's still not easy, even if you're Christian and everything, okay? There's still temptation. You're still attracted to someone. You're still a human. You still have your needs. It's just setting those boundaries and sticking to them. Just a last little relationship advice tip: try not to take dating so seriously. I know sometimes we get kind of impatient with being single. It takes the fun out of just genuinely making friends and getting to know people of the opposite sex. When I met my boyfriend, I wasn't interested in dating him at first. I met him, I thought he was cool, he was inviting me to Bible study, we started talking, and in our friendship is when I realized, wow, I really like him. When you allow things to happen from a friendship, that's when the most organic, genuine relationships form, is when you have been friends with someone first. So don't meet somebody and go on one day and analyze everything like, nah, he's not my husband. Don't bring your checklist to the first time meeting someone. Like, actually allow someone to be a friend and see someone as a friend. And for my relationship status update, they asked, are you still with the guy that you met from college? And yes, I am. We're still in a relationship. I don't show him that much, but I do show him sometimes on Insta stories, and I do have a couple of posts with him on Instagram. But we're still together. I'm still very much growing with each other. I am learning so much from being in a relationship. I've only been in 2 relationships, and this is the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. Being in a godly relationship definitely takes work. It takes boundaries, it takes convictions, it takes discipline, it takes a lot of communication, but it has been a beautiful journey, and I'm very much growing from being in a healthy relationship that actually is allowing me to grow. I think that's something that I appreciate the most about my relationship, especially just having a friendship with someone first. So it's still like, besides him being my boyfriend, he is my friend. Like, we're in a good place. You know, relationships are work, relationships are disagreeing and things like that, but one thing I really do appreciate about my relationship is, although we annoy each other, of course you're gonna get on each other's nerves and annoy each other. It's never disrespectful disagreements, it's never any disrespect, any hurtful words. That is something that I really appreciate, because like I said, the foundation of our relationship has been friendship. We were friends, like platonic friends, for an entire year. So I really appreciate that about our relationship, because that was kind of a big problem in my last relationship, just not fighting fairly. You know, when it's time for a fight, everyone wants to bring up stuff from 1999 and just use hurtful words. And I can give a lot of credit to me being single for 5 years. It really allowed me to heal and to look at the things that I did in my last relationship and notice that although it was a toxic relationship, I played a part in it being toxic as well. So definitely my single time allowed me to see that, like, I was toxic as well. These are the mistakes that I made. These are the things that I made. Another dating tip: if you just came out of a relationship, if you know there's some things that you need to work on, allow yourself to have some quiet time. Allow yourself to have a downtime from dating, from dealing with people seriously. My 5 years of being single, I definitely learned a lot, healed a lot, worked on my relationship with God, and now I feel like I can offer a man much more. Back then, I was still a good person, but now I can offer you love, respect, and support, and things that I couldn't offer back then because I was just too young and I just didn't know anything. So definitely downtime, healing, working on your relationship with God definitely allows me to be the loving, kind, supportive girlfriend that I am today. Not the one that's cussing you out and just being crazy, okay? Next. How do you like living on your own, and how are you liking the city life? Now, there's so many pros and cons of living on your own. I definitely can say I do enjoy the location of where I live, but there are a few things that I'm definitely still getting used to, which number one is bringing my groceries in. That is like killing me, and I don't know why, but every time I do a grocery order, I end up ordering so many things. And if you don't know about ordering on the Walmart app, you need to check it out. I'll have a link in the description box to get $10 off your order, but that is like my go-to way of grocery shopping now. I just order on the app, go pick up my groceries, they load it in the car for you, and you go on your way. So that's my number one con of living in my apartment, is the way I have to bring all my groceries in. It's such a hassle. I have to walk down the hallways, and I'm tired, and it's cold right now. Another thing that I'm not liking about my apartment is the way it's facing. So I need a lot of natural light for my videos and stuff like that, and my room is very, very dark. You can't tell right now. If you can see in the mirror, I am using a box light while I'm in front of the window. That's another thing that I'm not really used to, because, you know, as in a house, there's so many like front windows or back windows, so I could just go set up in front of a front window, and I feel like I have the perfect setup in my old room. So that's another thing that I'm trying to get used to, and I'm trying to just push in the back of my mind, as it is definitely getting to me about making new videos, because I'm not very happy with the setup and just trying to find what looks the best, and I feel like my apartment's dark. I think that's pretty much it with the cons, and also just like paying rent. Paying rent, it's like all the bills come every single month. Rent, groceries, insurance, everything comes every single month, and I would be glad to say goodbye to all the rent and stuff. But other than that, I love my new apartment. Like, I'm just getting used to a lot of things. I'm getting used to having a roommate. I'm getting used to living on my own. That is another thing. I've definitely been having moments. I do have a roommate, but it's so much more different when you go from living with your family. And guys, I come from a big family. I have 4 siblings. So me moving with a roommate, and it's very like cordial. We don't ever just like have movie dates because we're both busy, we both work and things like that. So it's not really like your family. Like when you live with your family, you're always around people, you always kind of have people to talk to, and people are always talking to you. So that definitely was getting to me last year, especially around the holidays. Like on Christmas, I woke up and I'm just like, okay, nobody's waking me up to open up presents. It's just me, it's quiet. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. It's such a weird feeling of going from like living with a big family to living just by yourself and having a roommate. So it's definitely another thing that I've kind of like adjusted to. So I can say that I am enjoying living in the city. I go to so many more events and do so much more now that I live here, but you definitely still have to make sure you push yourself to get out, especially in the winter time, because I'll sit in here all day and I'm just like, dang, I'm bored, dang, I'm lonely, dang, it's quiet, but I have to push myself to get out. It's definitely like just a new chapter in life, and you have to adjust to everything. A new feeling, a new environment, a new space, something different, just adjusting and getting more comfortable in my new space, I guess I should say. How did you start off YouTube, and what are some tips you can give to someone who is interested in starting a YouTube channel or a blog? The way I started off YouTube, I kind of was on Instagram. So as you guys know, I used to wear weaves. So I used to wear a bunch of sew-ins, different colors. I was all into weave. I was getting back to back sew-ins, and eventually my hair fell out. I told you guys this story like a bunch of times. And I had alopecia, traction alopecia. So after my hair grew back, I was literally praying when my hair fell out, like, God, please, if my hair goes back, I promise that I will cherish it and appreciate it. So once my hair grew back, I was still kind of insecure about it, and I was on Instagram, and I'm like, there is no one. Back then, I probably just didn't know anyone, but when I was on Instagram, I was like, there's no one who does fashion with their natural hair. Personally, I didn't feel cute with my natural hair. Back then, I wouldn't think that this hair looks cute. I would feel like I needed to have straight hair, Brazilian hair, some type of long weave in to look pretty. And I thought, you know what, I need to be that representation. I want to be the representation of a woman comfortable wearing her natural hair, slaying her natural hair, still looking good, still looking bomb. You can have natural hair and look bomb. That's what I wanted to present on my Instagram. So that's kind of what made me start posting on Instagram. So I will always post just my hair products, and all kind of stuff like that. People started requesting for me to do YouTube videos, and I'm like, that's kind of something that I would like to do. So I started doing YouTube videos. I just upload, and I wanted to help people find natural hairstyles, natural products that work. You know, I've been natural for mostly my whole life. I only had one perm, but back then I had no idea what products to use, what styles will work on my hair. I literally had no idea what to do. So I wanted to make videos with fun, cute hairstyles, and just try a bunch of products and give people reviews. And that's how I started a YouTube channel. I never once thought it would become a career for me. I never once thought I would get paid for doing things like that. So once companies started sending me products and I learned that they paid people, I felt so robbed, because for so many years I did it for free. But it's just because I enjoyed doing it. I loved like putting videos together and adding music and being all cute in the video. Like, that's just what I love to do. So that's how I started YouTube and Instagram. So some tips to anyone who is starting out. Number one is your intention behind it. I know a lot of people see it and they're like, oh, it's free products, it's money, it's this and that. Your intention behind it, kind of have something of purpose behind it. Like I said, when I started, it was just to help others. It was never about the money. It was never about free stuff, because that stuff doesn't come like this. You have to work up and get to a place. It's where companies are gonna see that you should be paid and things like that, and you have to create content and you have to just stick with it. That's not to say don't make money, because if you do good work and you're talented, you do deserve to be paid, okay? Get your coins. I'm just saying, don't go into it thinking you're gonna make $1 million overnight, because it's definitely a learning experience, and it's definitely, you have to grow. It's like anything. If you're building a house, you have to start with the foundation, you have to build it up, and then someone can live in it. Tip number 1, intention. Tip number 2 is be consistent and have good quality content. Be consistent, which is sometimes the hardest thing to do. It gets people excited to see your content, used to you, and it helps you grow when you're more consistent. And tip number 3, be you. That's my biggest tip. It's just like, be you. Have your own brand. Don't try to imitate anybody else's brand or try to look at somebody else's. You can definitely see people as inspiration, but I feel like there's a space for everyone. Whether you're 5 and you play with toys for money on YouTube, you're 10 and you make slime, you're 15 and you do natural hair tutorials, or you're 25 and you're married, you're 35 and you have a kids and a baby, or you're 45. I feel like there's a lane for everyone. So you don't have to try to imitate somebody else or make your feed look like somebody else or use the same filter as somebody else. Just do your own thing. That's what's so beautiful about this space that I'm in. A lot of people say it's oversaturated. There's so many people doing it, blah, blah, blah. I feel like there's a different space for everyone. And everyone has a different thing that they bring to the table. My content is good. I'm gonna use one of my friends, Chizzy Duru. Her content is good. Someone else, Casey, her content is good. We all do natural hair. We're all 3 different people. We all have 3 different things to bring to the table. So I would never say don't blog. Don't pursue being an influencer because it's oversaturated. Don't listen to that. There is a lane for everyone, and everyone connects with different people. The people that like my friends might not like me. Just remember that. Like, there's a space for everyone. There's a lane for everyone. That's another thing I'm getting used to, these loud noises. How do you go about appreciating the hair texture that you have? I have 4C hair, but I idolize people who have 3A, 3B, and 3C hair. Now this is a big thing. Now I understand that a lot of people don't feel secure about their textures. Trust me. I told you guys before I started wearing my natural hair, I felt like if I didn't have Brazilian weave or straight long hair, I didn't look cute. Personally, I think if I would have gave myself a chance to get used to myself with my real hair, I was so used to seeing myself with weave, that's what I was used to. When I took the weave out and I wore my real hair, I felt like I looked crazy. But it could be partially because I wasn't used to seeing myself with that hair. And also, I just wasn't giving myself a chance to love the way I look naturally. That goes with anything. Without your makeup, without your weave, you have to love how you look. So if you have 4C hair, 3C hair, 3B, 4A, you have to learn to love that. You cannot continue to look at people with different textures and idolize it and be upset about the hair that you have, because your hair is beautiful. I love people with 4C hair. I love people with 3C hair. I love people with 3B hair. And what I did, I just started doing new styles. So try twist styles, try bantu knots, try a lot of different styles, and follow people with 4C hair. There's a lot of people with 4C hair. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow other people with other textures, but follow some more people that have 4C hair that are embracing it. I think a big thing about your natural hair journey is really embracing it. Embracing that when your hair grows, it might grow this way and not this way. Embracing that when you walk outside and it's humid, your hair is going to shrink up. Embracing that your twist out might not always come out bomb. Okay? Trust me. I have hair days where I'm like, we don't have to cut this all off. Trust me, I get it. I get it not being comfortable with your texture. I've been there. I get it being frustrated and idolizing other textures. I get it, but trust me, every texture is beautiful. So you just have to learn to embrace it. And once you start rocking with it and once you start loving it, I feel like it attracts other people that love it. Even if you don't like it, start telling yourself you like it and you'll start. If you're feeling like you look good, you're slaying, you come to the table with confidence, maybe you'll start liking it a little bit more. But just already saying, I don't like it, it's like ugly, I wish I had other hair, you're not gonna feel any better about the hair that you do have. And I had to learn that too. Next question. What do you do for a living and how can you afford to travel? So what I do for a living is I am a social media influencer, YouTuber, content creator. Content creator is basically a fancy word for someone who takes pictures and makes videos for brands. So that is how I make money. That is all I do. I am full-time. I've been full-time for a couple of months and God has been blessing me. I am so grateful. It is the funnest job. and I want to start doing more to connect with you guys. So thank you guys for supporting me and supporting everything that I do, because that is how I make money. So if you see sponsor posts with #ad, please throw me up a like, double tap, and a comment, because your girl appreciates it. The way I afford to travel is through my brand. So this year I have been focusing on expanding my brand. Now that doesn't mean I'm not going to do natural hair or fashion or any of the things that you guys love. That just means that I'm going to expand my brand to be a global everything brand, from lifestyle to travel to everything. I want to expand it, but it's still going to be genuine. It's still going to be things that I love and I use and I definitely recommend. A blog, do not put yourself in a box. But if you did put yourself in a box, you can still expand. But when you start something out, make sure you're getting your followers and people used to you doing all type of content, lifestyle, you know, hair, beauty, whatever you're passionate about, but don't just put yourself in one box. I feel like when I started out, I kind of just put myself in a hair box, and now I'm expanding. And I've been expanding since last year, and it's been going very well. I'm excited to bring you guys more content than just hair and beauty. It's gonna be everything. To go along with what I just said about expanding, I have been working with hotels and stuff like that, so that is another way that I have been able to travel without paying for everything. And sometimes brands will fly me out and they'll pay for the hotel and the travel for work stuff. Also, before I moved out, I was saving up to buy a home, so I still had money saved. That's kind of like my cushion money. I'm kind of cheap too, so you guys will never see me with like Louis Vuittons or anything like that. Like, I love that stuff, I think it looks cute, but I'm just too cheap. I save a good percent of my money, and I'm really big on saving. I encourage everyone to save. I feel more comfortable living on my own and being an entrepreneur because I've saved money. So yeah, I save money, I work, I try not to spend a lot, and I'm gonna be honest, I got a credit card to build my credit, and that credit card has been kicking me in the butt, okay guys? Like, I just called today to get the credit card limit taken down because I'm so tired of myself. I'm cutting myself off. So just watch your spending and make a budget and make a goal. 2019 is about financial freedom, stacks in the bank. We're living good, stress-free, worry-free about our financial stuff, okay? So if you are able, stay home, stack up some money, and then move out, because that's what I did. It allows me the freedom to, you know, take trips and do things that I really want to do just by saving and knowing like, okay, rent money will be paid if I still take this trip. What are some YouTubers or Instagrammers that you like and are friends with? That is a good question. It's very interesting. I have found that it has been harder for me to make friends now that I am in this space, now that this is what I do for a living. Because it's so hard to make friends sometimes because you don't know everyone's attention. So many people want to link up and have coffee dates, and it's just like they just want to pick your brain instead of actually be your friend. And I'm gonna be honest, I love what I do and I love doing it, but when I go out with my friends, I want us to talk about dumb stuff. I want us to just talk about like funny stuff, have fun. I don't want to be talking about work or brands or this and that, which it is good to have friends that are in the same field as you so you guys can relate to each other, help each other grow. But there are some people who just link up with you, sit down in front of you, take notes, get all the information, and that's it. They don't want a genuine friendship. So I run into that a lot in this business, so I'm very picky and choosy who I decide to be in friendship with. Last year, I kind of drained myself trying to keep up with so many people and trying to check on people and see how they're doing when it wasn't being reciprocated. So I definitely say, if you are in friendships where things are not being reciprocated, I say to look for some friends who are on the same page as you, who uplift you, hold you accountable, but also the energy is reciprocated and you're not being drained trying to keep up with people and trying to counsel people when they're not doing the same for you. I feel like most of the people I've built genuine friendships with are people that I've met that didn't know me, because that's another thing. I would meet people at church and I would meet people different places and they already knew me, so they're like, hey, I want to know about building a brand, I want to know about being a blogger. And it's like, yes, that is a part of my life and what I do, and it's a part that I love, but I would like people to get to know me for who I am. And can we talk about what type of chicken wings I like, or you know, just something like, just to get to know me for who I am besides my brand. Do you think you'll be married soon, and do you want kids? I don't know if I'll be married soon. I know definitely in the future I want to be married. That's another thing that I say. I date to see if I'm marriage compatible with someone. I don't just date to waste time. I've said that before. I'm definitely not in a rush. Whenever God sees fit, I know he'll make it happen. okay? So I'm definitely not in a rush, but I don't know if I'll be married anytime soon. And the next question, do I want kids? Yes, I do. I would love for God to bless me with 2 little baby twins, a boy and a girl. That would be perfect, and then I would be done. But that's definitely in the future after I get married, and I want to be married for at least 2 years before I have kids. The next question, tips on improving your walk with God. Some tips on improving your walk with God is being intentional. And I've started to work on that, which is actually being intentional to read my Bible every day, to pray every day, to have accountability partners. And that is why I post a soap daily on Insta stories. And I break it down. It's the S stands for scripture, the O is observation, the A is application, and the P is prayer. So I'll post a scripture and then I'll tell people like, hey, you can use this soaping method. It has helped me actually analyze and break down what I'm reading versus just reading stuff in the Bible and then going to sleep next day. I can't even tell you what I read last night. But yeah, being intentional about it, going out of your way to go visit churches and try to make friends with people at your church or join small groups. That's definitely good ways to help you grow in your walk. But overall, guys, I have been doing great. God has been blessing me. I've had my moments last year of moving and adjusting and of just trying to feel like myself and being excited about the things that I love. So yeah, I've been just adjusting and growing up. Growing up is like a never-ending thing. A never-ending thing, but I'm so excited to be able to bring you guys more content this year. I want to get more personal and more up close with you guys and kind of be more transparent about things. So if you have anything that you want to know, or if you have any video suggestions, please leave them down below. I'll see you guys in my next video. Love and blessings.